Irene, can you hear me? I can't hear her. I'm having trouble hearing you, Irene, but I'm here with Stan Honda. It's John Bills, live from Central Park Reservoir, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. And we're getting ready, along with actually a pretty good sized crowd. Dozens of people kind of down there ready to see the conjunction. And so we've been chatting with them about it. And, it's going to come somewhere around these buildings the tall building there, kind of, and the screen I'm looking at sort of more away from us is where we're expecting to see it. If the bands that we're seeing out there kind of stay, the clouds stay well enough that we can actually see it. So that's what's happening out here in Central Park Reservoir. It's might be a challenge, but we may see it, so we want to try and capture it. So could you hear us, Irene?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Sorry, I had to. There's so many settings. So this is some of the fun of teaching during COVID. Yeah, so I was saying I'm here with a few of the astronomy students, and it's looking pretty cloudy here, but it looks like you guys have some clearing there, maybe over by Central Park soon.
There's some breaks, as you can see. So we need them down about kind of midway to the top of that high building over there. So, okay. But we have our Zoom cameras. You can see I've got my camera on live show right here, so we'll be able to see it. And Stan's got his. He's not wasting the battery like I am. I'm going to turn mine off, so I won't waste the battery so much. But we've got Stan. You want to talk about your gear that you're going to use to see this?
Yeah, we both have some pretty long telephoto lenses. I think John's got a 150 to 600 millimeter, and I have a 200 to 500. And we're just waiting for, I think, more darkness and a little bit of break in the clouds, and I think we might be okay.
Yeah, I think in about another 5 minutes or so, we should be able to get it dark enough that if it's between the clouds, we'll be able to see it. So, anybody else reporting in from AAA, Irene?
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to email everyone else the thing, but I haven't heard from anyone else so far. So I'm gonna check in on them and maybe see if we can't set our telescope up. I was trying to get the finder aligned earlier. It was still light out, so I couldn't quite do that between classes. But we have not a lot of breaks between the clouds. I think we have kind of a big cloud right about where the planets could be. And then a couple breaks, but not where the planets should be. So we might hold tight for a little bit. Did you say you were going to try and head downtown, or are you going to stick around the Central Park area?
We're going to be here for probably another 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit more. So if we are able to get views of it, we'll send it to you. I'm going to switch to my back camera now, and I'll then use that, and you'll be able to see what's on my camera. So right now, it's kind of zooming in a little bit on these buildings. I can zoom in a lot more to get near where Jupiter is. So, and I'll either show you on Stan or mine's if we see it here and we've got it under capture. Okay.
Okay, that looks fantastic. I'm going to try and set up a little bit of Stellarium here so I can show some of that. So I might just put up a quick view of Saturn and pop right back in. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. All right. I mean, we'll hope to see you soon with Jupiter and Saturn in our lenses, in our cameras.
This is your. Yeah. This is weird. Uh-oh. All right, I think. We have All right. So I think, yeah, so this is showing a little bit of Stellarium. So this isn't a live view of what's outside, but this is, well, it's a live view of what would be outside if there were no clouds.
Right.
So we see, like, basically Jupiter and Saturn would be starting to show through, and y'all just, if you see any dots outside, let me know, okay?
You mean actually? I mean Jupiter. You'll see.
Yeah, Jupiter will be pretty bright. So we can see, it should be pretty big up there.
What would it look like? Would it look like
There.
like a star?
Jupiter's right there.
You see it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, where?
Well, now it's disappearing behind the cloud.
Oh wait, I think I
It
saw
was
it.
there.
All right, so I'm gonna
Is
zoom in
that
here,
just starry
Yes,
there?
yeah.
and it sounds like we might actually have a view here. So we're gonna go ahead and try and set up our telescope, and we will be able to see if we can get it in the telescope. And if Stan or John wants to log in, we'll be able to see
It looked a little
the moons of Jupiter and maybe at least one moon of Saturn, that moon of Titan.
Clouds.
Titan over there. So I'm just gonna leave this here for a moment. We'll go ahead and kind of track on Jupiter.
Yeah, but
It's
what?
Keep it in the field
Where
of
is
view.
Venus though? Because it was so bright. Where is Venus right now?
So right now Venus is out more in the morning.
Oh, okay, fine. So it wasn't. It couldn't have been Venus.
Let me just see if we have any other questions in here for now. And yeah, so sorry, we've had some issues with our sound. I'm just gonna leave this view of Stellarium up, and I'm gonna pop out for just a bit and try to set up our telescope here and see if we can get a view between our clouds. All right, so I'm just gonna actually pop myself out of here. of those. So we're getting some questions from some of our students in here about the planets, right? So closest planet to the sun, Mercury and Venus, those are going to be going around the sun relatively quick. And so those will kind of pass between us and the sun frequently. Those will meet in the sky a lot more regularly. Further out past the Earth in the orbits, we have Mars, which is also out. So some people have been noticing Mars out in the night sky a lot. So we might even see that in the telescopes, again, if it's clear. Not sure, yeah, maybe not just yet. And then out past Mars, we have Jupiter and then Saturn. And as we were talking about in one of the streams a few nights ago, Jupiter, the distance between the sun and Jupiter is pretty much the distance between Jupiter and Saturn. So Saturn is basically twice as far away from us right now as Jupiter is. So even though they're like along the same line of sight here, Jupiter is much, much further away. So if I actually click on these, we can see Stellarium tells us all kinds of exciting information about the planet. So Jupiter, it's telling us, is whatever distance, 5.9 AU. Anyone from our astronomy club remember what an AU is? An astronomical unit?
Oh, is it distance between Earth and Sun?
Yeah, that's the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So it's almost 6 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun. That's how far away Jupiter is. So based on what I just said, then we should see Saturn should be about twice that. So Saturn should be about 12 AU, unless I just lied. Yeah, almost 11. So Saturn's almost 11 AU right now. So right now, we don't have any public observing happening. But if you look outside, if you can see between the clouds, you want to look to the southwest above the horizon. If you see a bright dot, it's probably Jupiter, and Saturn should be really close to it. We have a question: when will the conjunction be visible in New York City? Now. Tomorrow, the weather should be better for viewing it. But it's happening now, and we'll see them still pretty close over the next few days. So we still tend to do another live stream tomorrow, where we'll see them just maybe not quite as close as they'll be tonight. So I'm just going to take another moment. If anyone has any questions, feel free to pop those into the chat, and we'll address those. I'm going to take another moment to try to align the finder on the telescope here, so that we can view it from here, because everyone wants to see it here as well. Lear, do you want to say anything? The wide world of, okay. All right, so I'm going to pop myself out, and I'll be back in just a moment or two. If you have questions, we can address those. hop back in here. All right, so we turned off some lights in here so that we could see, so we could see outside. So let's see if we have any questions. We have which body is enclosed by the 4 moving red lines on our screens? Great. So the body enclosed there, that should be Saturn. So this is Stellarium that you're seeing in the background here. You should be able to see the Stellarium 1.5.0. And it comes with some exciting information. All this information here is talking about Saturn. And do you see it?
I think something is over there.
It's like flashing. Oh, that's a plane.
Is it?
That's a plane. It's a plane. Yeah. So if I click on a separate one, that's Jupiter, and then we get all these fun facts about Jupiter showing up. So Stellarium's a really great tool for showing us, you know, what we're looking for in the sky. I use it out in the field a lot when I go observing. And there was a question, where's the AA group at the Brooklyn Bridge Park? All right, so tonight we're not going to be at Brooklyn Bridge Park. We're not doing any more public viewing tonight. So wherever you are, go outside with a telescope or binoculars, whatever you have, and you can check that out. Has anyone seen anything cool through their scopes? So far, I haven't seen anything tonight. But I do have, we have some pictures from the other night. And those, those unfortunately are on my phone, and I'm not sure about getting that to show up on here. But let me just try real quick.
I'll send it to 8 times.
Get the photos. I don't know if this is going to show up or not. Let's just see. So there was. That's not. Is it?
That's Terry.
So,
Oh,
so I don't think we could.
What's my name?
So I'm not sure that we can see
So why
that.
do you know that?
So yeah, so maybe not yet tonight, but we have some people who might be on their way to park where they will be able to show us a view in their telescope. So I'm just going to take another peek out our window. Still nothing, but we have our telescope set up. So I don't know if you want to see what we have for that. You guys want to show them the telescope, or do you want to take a look through the telescope?
How do I do that?
All right, so do you want to hit the lights? And I'll kind of minimize Stellarium. Take Stellarium out just for now. And do you want to show the telescope that we have set up here? Telescope. Oh yeah, I can just take the camera. That's the easiest thing. All right.
Hi, this is the telescope. It's very cool. So I think we're supposed to see the planets from here, but I don't know. It's not working right now.
Yeah. So we have the eyepiece up at the top, right? So we have that eyepiece sticking up there. Yep. So that's where we're looking. So by changing out eyepieces, we can change the magnification. So usually we go with a low magnification to find stuff, and then we can go to a higher power eyepiece to see the planets in a little bit more detail. And then that thing, yeah, do you want to point to that again? So that's how we actually aim the telescope. So I don't know if you look through there, you may or may not see like a red bullseye. Yeah, there's like this red blinking bullseye on there. So instead of trying to sight along the telescope, because it's a big sky, and so in order to aim it, in order to get it aimed at exactly the tiny point in the sky we want to see, we put that thing in there. You see what's it look like?
It looks like a target.
A target. And what's in the center of the target? Anything right now?
It's
like a dot.
No, nothing is. All right. So if we see Jupiter in the sky, then we're gonna align the telescope so that it's in the center of that target, and then whatever's in the center of that target should be in the eyepiece. Do you see any dots up
It's
there
like,
yet?
it's very small.
Is it? It's not because we're on a
very
plane
small.
flight.
You see it in the target?
I'm not looking through here. I'm looking through the window.
Oh.
Right. So we're gonna
It's on top
see
of
if
the
we have
like this way.
we're gonna see if we have Jupiter up there
Oh,
again.
it's blocked.
So
No, look, right on
another
top.
Jupiter
Right
check.
on top. You don't see
So let us know if you have any questions again about the conjunction, about the planets, any astronomy questions in general. Happy to take a few questions while we're waiting for it to get
Why can't I see
a little
you
bit
here?
more clear. All right, so we'll
Is
just
it
pop
soggy?
Stellarium back in here,
Hold
I'll
up,
show you
I'm
now.
and we'll be back in just a few moments. Stream. All right, so still a lot of clouds out there. It's definitely dark enough. So if you're looking again towards the southwest, let me kind of scroll out in Stellarium. You can see the direction that you should be looking because Stellarium has this neat feature where it puts giant letters on here. So we're looking between the S and the W, between the S and the W, that's the southwest. So you want to be looking kind of right in that direction. And just a little ways above the horizon, this is telling us the coordinates over here, this line that says alt as, that's the altitude and azimuth. So if you have a phone with a compass, you're looking at 224 degrees. So you open up your phone app, you open up the compass on there, and you aim towards 224 degrees. That basically means southwest. And then you're looking 15 degrees above the horizon. So if you stick out your hand as far as like your outstretched arm, generally your pinky, the end of your pinky and your thumb, those are going to be about 25 degrees apart. So if you stick out your pointer and pinky, those are going to be closer to 15 degrees apart. So you want to measure that far off to the horizon, and that's where you're looking for a bright spot. If it blinks, it's a plane. But if it's a nice kind of steady shining, then that's going to be Jupiter. So you can see this from wherever it's dark enough right now. We have a question. Which will the planets overlap or just pass beside each other shortly? They seem headed toward collision right now. So again, yeah, they're not going to collide. They look like they're coming towards a collision. One is much further away. So Saturn is much further away from us than Jupiter right now. But they won't actually collide, and they won't actually overlap. So if they overlap, that would be an incredible alignment. That would be even more rare of an alignment. So this is about as close as they're going to get. And then if I zoom out a little bit, I think I actually have, I do have a image elsewhere of kind of the separation as they kind of move past each other. Let's see if we can't kind of step through time here. I pull up my handy dandy Stellarium clock. And if you like Stellarium, just as a heads up, again, we're using Stellarium here to help us visualize what's happening because it's cloudy right now, but we have some potential clearing. And I can bring up the clock. Here's the clock. So but we're using Stellarium to, where's my clock? To view this. If you're interested in learning more about Stellarium, we are going to be offering a class about how to use Stellarium. And so you can check out aaa.org for that. Let me just put our class up here. If you're interested in joining, we will have public viewing again at some point in the future, someday. But if we look at where these are going to be tomorrow, you can see they just kind of slide past each other. So if I can try to pause the time here. Sorry, my little computer is lagging a little bit, just a smidge. So if we go back in time a little bit, so this is today and yesterday. So you can see how far apart they were. Yesterday, the 20th, was also cloudy. We didn't have a live stream at all. Today, they're much closer. That's the closest pass. The closest pass, I think it was actually around noon, East Coast time. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to be clear again in New York, and they'll be a little bit further past each other. So you can see Jupiter kind of sliding past Saturn. It won't actually cross in front of it. And oh goody, we have John Bills on. So we're going to go ahead and move him in here. Hey, John. You have
Irene. Just a second. We're going to go live here. I'm going to.
All right. All right. Just flag me down here. So if anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. You can type into the chat on Facebook or YouTube. Again, we are using Stellarium to get this image since we're waiting for some live images between the clouds. And it looks like we're live with John Bills. Let me just bring him right in here. Hey, John, want to tell us what's happening?
Yeah, and we're going to have Stan Honda here in a second. We're going to show you something pretty cool here that he's been able to capture. So hold on just a second. I'm going to switch to the other side of my camera.
Hi, Irene. We're at the reservoir in Central Park.
Okay, Stan. I think we got you on here now.
All righty.
You seeing Stan now? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
All right.
Your camera went off though, Stan. So
we're gonna take a walk over to my camera now.
All right. So you can see there's a few breaks in the clouds here. Stan, you want to tell us what we captured here?
A few breaks in the cloud, and then what it looks like is with the super telephoto lens, we got the bands of Jupiter on the screen here, and whoops, I think those are actually clouds. Sorry, Irene.
Stan, the bands of
We wanted to prank you a little bit there, Irene.
We're patiently waiting for what we hope the clouds, maybe a slight little break. It's not looking too promising though from Central Park, but we're having a good time out here anyway.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to show you on mine where we think Jupiter should be, and you never know, it could just pop out of the screen at me while we're doing this. So this is my camera. I'm going to go to live now, my live mode. And we're looking, it should be that's the Time Warner Center that you're seeing on my screen. I don't know if you can see that. And then just above the Time Warner Center, we're expecting Jupiter to be somewhere in here right now. It's about 15 degrees above the horizon and at about 225. So that should be about where we're seeing it. But, you know, we just need a lucky break in the clouds and Jupiter will pop through. And so we're just going to keep shooting photos and see if we get a lucky image here and there of the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction here from Central Park. And there's definitely a lot of interest from a range of people just kind of waiting to see this conjunction. So it's kind of cool to be out together in a safe socially distanced way, of course, wearing masks. All right, Irene, if we get any more breaking news, we'll come back in.
Yeah, I think some people are asking where in Central Park on you. I don't know if you want to disclose your location or not.
Yeah, we're on the reservoir. I think that we're happy to disclose. We're up on the reservoir on the east side, just above the 91st Street entrance there. And so there's people all up and down this reservoir trying to see this event tonight. I think most people are gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Stan, anything else you want to mention?
No. As long as you can see toward the southwest, you're pretty good no matter where you are.
Yeah. If you look down if you're looking south down any of the avenues in Manhattan, and you kind of go 20 or so degrees to the right, that'll be roughly around where they are. Just as another kind of way to think about it's in the southwest. So
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll let you know if we catch a lucky image of it. All right, Irene, we're gonna head back.
All right. I think we might cut out. So thanks so much for tuning in and letting us see the live views from Central Park. Appreciate that, John.
All right. Take care. All the best.
All right. Bye. All right, folks. So live from Central Park, it's still cloudy. Live from Brooklyn, it's still cloudy. So I think we're probably going to pop out. If there's any other questions, we can pop those in the chat in the next minute or so. Otherwise, we will be streaming live again around 7:30 Eastern time, because again, we have one of our fantastic members who's out where there's much better skies in the southwest New Mexico. So tune in to see a live view from New Mexico. That should be starting around 7:30, right where you're watching now. So we'll stream that as well on our YouTube and Facebook. And I think that's about it. I wanted to check and see if I'm missing anything too exciting from the chat. And yeah, so again, if you're somewhere that's clear, again, just look outside, southwest, you're aiming southwest, and about 15 degrees above the horizon. So good luck seeing that. And if you get to see it, let us know. Leave some comments on our social media. And otherwise, we'll be back in a couple hours with a view from New Mexico. Thanks, everyone.